Well, as all of these people fall in, we don't have, and Michael speaks to people at the White House, we don't have an exact beat on what's going on in the president's mind. Somebody who may is Richard Socarides. He was a White House advisor to Bill Clinton. Yeah. Richard joins us today. Richard, as we welcome you to the Young Turks, one of the things that I'd like to know is what is happening right now. You worked with President Clinton. You advised him on gay issues. What's going on right now at the White House? What are people telling the president?
Well, I can't know for sure because I'm not inside any longer. But I think that, look, the president has a long record and a record to be proud of on gay rights. He's, moved the ball forward on a lot of very important issues. We repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The Justice Department has got a much better policy on how they handle discrimination cases involving gays and lesbians. So we've made a lot of progress. But I think that the president's political advisors have probably made a calculation for some reason, an electoral strategy that he's better off somehow between now and the election kind of staying in this neutral. My advice to them, and has been my advice to them all along, is that you can't stay in neutral on this issue, in the context of a presidential election. In the context of a presidential election, we've got 6 more months. He's going to now get asked about this everywhere he goes, and he can't say that I haven't made up my mind.
In your opinion, Richard, is he best served by actually coming out now and saying, you know what, I'm in favor of gay marriage, I support it? Or is he better off letting his surrogates do it and kind of dance around it? It seems to me the way to make this go away as a negative issue for the president would be to just do what he's doing now, which is essentially nothing.
Well, no, I think actually to the contrary. I think the way to turn the issue in the president's favor is to articulate a strong leadership position. I think most Americans already understand that the president is in favor of equality for gay and lesbian Americans, and nobody is not going to vote for him who would vote for him anyway because he takes a position in favor of gay rights. I mean, the president is a pro-gay rights president. Right. Everybody knows that. If that upsets anybody, they're not going to vote for the president anyway.
Right. Richard, this is Tricia Rose. I have a quick question. So, I mean, is it possible, though, that by giving up that distinction, he's been for civil unions all along, but by moving into the language of marriage, he sort of opens up the religious rights ability to directly attack him on religious grounds? What would you say to someone who might think of it that way and favor the silence for that reason?
I would say that that's very old school, old-fashioned thinking. If you look at the recent polling now, a majority of Americans support marriage rights for all citizens. And that, we've seen enormous progress on this issue. Right. And just as we expanded, rights for women, and we've expanded rights for other minorities, African Americans, the disabled, now is the time to grant to all citizens who are gay and lesbian full equality. And this is what the president stands for. Everything about this president says that he's for equal rights. His background, his history, his work as a law professor,
Richard,
his work as a community organizer.
Richard, everything about this president, except this president, says that they're for everything to do with gay rights. And so, and his record is indisputable, what we've seen. I just think that he's best served by coming out and saying, you know what, I favor gay marriage. And because I think the fear...
I completely agree.
Yeah. I think the fear factor, and NBC's Chuck Todd agrees with us, and he thinks it's inevitable. Let's listen to Chuck Todd very quickly.
I don't know how they ultimately choreograph this, but again, the expectation is if they get into a second term, that's when it will be done. And then a lot of supporters are looking at that as much too calculating.
I think they do it now. I'll be honest. I think this episode sort of forces the conversation. I think they do it.
So you think they'll be
before the...
Richard Socarides, you're on the hot seat. Do you agree with Chuck Todd? Do you think he's going to do it before the convention?
I think he's going to do it before the convention. I'm actually surprised he's waited this long. I think that he is ready to go.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Richard Socarides, thanks for being with us on the Young Turks today, and we'll call you in on that bet if it doesn't happen before the convention, okay?
Okay. Either way, I want to be back.
You'll be back, I promise. Thanks so much for your time. When we come back, Cenk is in Paris, and we're